Okay, guys, come on, please. Good morning. Please, everyone, turn your camera right now, okay? Campuzano, Vasco, Solís, Aspiazu, Gaibor, Castillo, Toaza, Pinargote, Arriaga. Okay, very good. Now, before to start the class of today, please listen carefully. You have to say present or here. Okay, Campuzano Jiménez.
Here.
Castillo Coto.
Here.
Estrella Benítez. Jaramillo y Triago.
Here.
Macías Ángel. Macías Ángel. Okay, Pinargote Maeva. Solís Iker.
Here.
Okay, Espiazu García.
Present.
Méndez Juliana.
Present.
Arriaga Jocelyn. Arriaga. Ok, Campaña Matías. Gaibor Miranda.
Present.
López Vera. Seminario Marimilia. Toasa Bravo.
Present.
And Vasco Villacreces.
Present.
Okay, Miss Arriaga, very good. Okay, Estrella. Okay, Mr. Very good. Okay. Okay, guys, so, okay, very good. Now, today we are going to practice reading part, okay, on the student book. So everyone, please open your student book. Oh, man. Okay, open your student book, guys, on page number is this? 80, page number 80. Okay, everyone, open your student book, page number 80. Okay, let me share the, okay, it's here. Okay, we have a reading part, the culture, okay? Over here we have the first one exercise. Look at the photos. What things can you see each one? Okay. Okay, as you can see the title, okay, we have a lot of great scientists. Okay. We are going to read, okay, a little history about these scientists. Okay. So we start with the first one, okay, is Galileo. Miss Vasco, please read Galileo.
Galileo. His full name was Galileo Galilei, is sometimes called the father of modern science. He was a scientist, mathematician, and astronomer. Someone who looks at the stars and planets. When he was alive, telescopes were still quite basic, and he made many improvements to them. His best now
Yes.
achievement was to show that They hate
The earth.
here moves around the sun, and not the sun around the earth, although he was not the first man to have the idea.
Okay, very good. Now listen to me. Galileo was an Italian astronomer, okay? Physicist and philosopher, okay? In 1609, Galileo heard about the invention, okay, of the telescope in Holland, okay? He constructed a superior version and made many astronomical discoveries, okay? Including mountains and valleys. On the surface of the moon, sunspots, the four largest moons of the planet Jupiter, and the faces of the planet Venus. Okay. In 1614, Galileo published his work on the Copernican Theory, that the sun was at the center of the solar system. Okay, he started that theory. Okay. This was revolutionary at a time when most people believed the earth was in this central position, because some person believed that the sun is around the earth, but it's incorrect. The earth is around the sun. Okay, it's round around. Okay, very good. Now, Galileo said the theory about the earth run around the sun, not the sun run around the earth, okay? The sun is on the center of the Milky Way. Milky Way is the Via Láctea, Milky Way, okay? Louis Pasteur, Miss Toasa, please read. Louis Pasteur. Toasa, are you ready?
Sorry, can you repeat, please? Read the Louis Pasteur. This.
Sorry? Louis.
Can you repeat? Okay, Louis Pasteur. Okay. Friends, and 180,022 and 189 6 5.
Miss, it's 1,000, no 100. 1,822.
Okay, sorry, 1,008. Oh, I think I say 1822.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, 1822 and 1895.
Okay.
Louis Pasteur was one of the people who started the area or science that we now call microbiology. He did many things during his life, but he is remembered mostly because of the work that he did with milk. When milk is about 2 days old, it starts to get bacteria, very small things that carry this disease, and this makes it dangerous to drink. People can get disease. Pasteur developed a way to prevent this happening. The process is called pasteurization. I don't know.
Good. Now, over here we have another scientist. Okay, Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur, born in 1822 and died on 1895. Okay. Now listen to me about a little story about Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur was a French chemist and microbiologist, in addition to the invention of pasteurization. Okay. Pasteur is also remembered for creating the first vaccines for rabies and anthrax, okay? Do you know the medicine anthrax? His discoveries provide support for the theory that diseases are caused by germs and led to the use of sterilization in operations. Wow, I didn't know this information. Okay, so Louis Pasteur provides support for the theory that diseases. What is the meaning about diseases? Enfermedades, diseases. Okay, for example, the AIDS, VIH, the COVID-19, okay, that is another disease, are caused by germs, okay, and led to the use of sterilization in operations, okay, very good. Now, over here we have another scientist, okay, Carl Landsteiner. Guys, when you read, please, if you see this part, for example, 2 years, in this case, for Louis Pasteur, 1822, is the date about when the scientist born, okay? Yes, yes, you can do it, Miss Mendes, okay? You can say the date or the year, okay? For example, 18, the two numbers, the first two numbers, and then you can use the 2 numbers too, okay? 1822, 1895, 1868, 1943, because it's easier, okay? To say 1822, okay, that's more. So it's easier to say only 2 and 2, 1822, 1895. And remember, the first year is when the scientist born, and the next year is when the scientist died, okay? So let's continue with Carl Landsteiner, okay? Please help me, Mr. Macias. Carl Landsteiner.
And Landsteiner worked in no, ¿cómo se pronuncia? Viña.
18.
Ah, what?
Okay, sorry, Mr. Repeat, please.
Ah, okay. The Landsteiner worked in Venice on May sciences themes, the other with Matt Cage, Eric Popper. He helped to identify the virus that caused and decide the catch to the poly. But even more important, in the 1901, I discovered the three main blood groups, A, B, and O, and showed that it's possible to transfer blood from one person to the other person. This led to first ever blood transfusion in 1906 in Nueva York. Sí, me escuchó, ¿verdad, profe?
Guys, wait a minute, okay? Wait a minute, please, wait a minute. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Carl Landsteiner, okay? Landsteiner worked in Vienna, okay? Do you know Vienna? On many scientific things, okay? Together with a man called Erwin Popper. He helped to identify the virus that caused a disease called polio, okay? But even more importantly, in 1901, he discovered the three main blood groups, okay? This man discovered the three kinds of blood, okay? A, B, and O, okay? and show that it is possible to transfer blood from one person to another person to help, okay, and to save the life. This led to the first ever blood transfusion in 1907 in New York, okay? Now, over here we have another scientific, Francis Crick, okay? And James Watson, okay, two scientific, okay? Francis Crick is a Briton who was born in 1916 and died on 2004, okay? And James Watson is from USA, born in 1928, okay? He isn't died, okay? Now, Mr. Aspiazu, read in 1953.
In 1963, I counted you, Crick and Watson.
Mister, I can hear you.
Watson told the world that they had found the secret of life. The secret is the structure of DNA, the material they make genes, the wings we get from our parents that control how we root.
Mister, I can hear you. You have to speak higher.
Estoy hablando alto.
Scream, please, scream. When you scream the goal from Ecuador, yes, like that, scream.
Their discovery meant they we know they know much more about the human body, and with the knowledge there have been enormous improvements in medicine and medical research, as well as in historical research and solving crimes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read again, okay? Francis Crick, Britain, born in 1916 and died 2004. And James Watson from USA, born in 1928. In 1953, in Cambridge, UK, United Kingdom, Crick and Watson told the world that they had found the secret of life. The secret is the structure of DNA, the material that makes genes, the things we get from our parents that control how we grow. Their discovery meant that we now know much more about the human body. And with that knowledge, there have been enormous improvements in medicine and medical research, as well as in historical research and solving crimes, okay? Thanks for these men, okay? Nowadays, we can solve these some crimes that it can be impossible, okay? For example, there is a mother, okay? Whatever house, okay, and the police don't recognize the blood, so they are going to check the blood and the DNA, and they can localize the criminal with the DNA, okay, because nowadays, okay, we can recognize and we can identify and localize, okay, a person with the DNA, with the blood, because the DNA is in the blood of each person, okay? Now the number 5 is the scientific Jane Goodall, Britain, born in 1934, okay? Please, Miss Gaibor. Where is Miss Gaibor? Are you walking, Miss Gaibor? Miss Gaibor? You, Miss Gaibor? Miss? Hello? Okay. Jane Goodall.
Un momentito, mister.
Okay, you have to speak in English, not in Spanish. You have to say, wait a minute, please. Okay. Guys, and on Thursday, we are going to practice the all topics grammar about the units that we saw before, okay? For example, the first conditional, the second conditional, the vocabulary, okay? Because the next week we have the first partial test, second term, okay? So in this week, we are going to make a review on Thursday and on Friday to study, okay? Miss Gaibor, are you ready, yes or no? Okay, other student, Miss Arriaga, read. Jane Goodall is a scientist.
Jane Goodall, Britain-born. Jane Goodall is a scientist who has studied primates, especially chimpanzees, her whole life. She has studied their family groups, their
Miss?
use of thoughts and their emotion. Her work has made it clear that chimpanzee and other primates, gorilla for example, are not as different from people as we used to think. Goodall has shown the world that we need to treat the animal around us with respect and protect them.
Okay, very good, okay. So Jane Goodall is a British, okay, primatologist, anthropologist, and UN messenger of peace, okay? She has studied chimpanzees, okay, for 45 years. She worked extensively on conversation and animal welfare issues, okay? Very good. Now we have an activity about these scientifics. We have to recognize the names and the pictures, okay? We have the number 1, Galileo, Louis Pasteur, Carl Landsteiner, Francis Crick and James Watson and Jane Goodall. Who was Galileo? So you have to look the pictures and we have to match, okay? Over here we have another, okay, that's good. We have a listening. Okay, okay guys, we are going to practice the listening, okay? Listen and read. This is so important because this test, okay, it's like a practice because in the exam or in the test, there is a test and you have to read carefully and identify the new vocabularies, okay? Now listen carefully, this is a practice.
Great scientists. 1. Galileo, Italy, 1564 to 1642. Galileo, his full name was Galileo Galilei, is sometimes called the father of modern science. He was a scientist, mathematician, and astronomer, someone who looks at the stars and planets. When he was alive, telescopes were still.
Okay, over here we have a new vocabulary. Astronomer is a person who looks at the stars and the planets. Okay, that is about the meaning astronomer. Okay.
Quite basic, and he made many improvements to them. His best-known achievement was to show that the Earth moves around the Sun, and not the Sun around the Earth, although he was not the first man to have the idea. 2. Louis Pasteur, France, 1822 to 1895. Louis Pasteur was one of the people who started the area of science that we now call microbiology. He did many things during his life, but he is remembered mostly because of the work that he did with milk. When milk is about 2 days old, it starts to get bacteria, very small things that carry disease.
Over here in this paragraph, we have another vocabulary, bacteria. Bacteria, very small things that carry disease, okay?
And this makes it dangerous to drink. People can get diseases. Pasteur developed a way to prevent this happening. The process is called pasteurization. 3. Karl Landsteiner, Austria, 1868 to 1943. Landsteiner worked in Vienna on many scientific things. Together with a man called Erwin Popper, he helped to identify the virus that causes a disease called polio. But even more importantly, in 1901, he discovered the 3 main blood groups, A, B, and O, and showed that it is possible to transfer blood from one person to another person. This led to the first ever blood transfusion in 1907 in New York. 4. Francis Crick, Britain, 1916 to 2004, and James Watson, USA, born 1928. In 1953, in Cambridge, UK, Crick and Watson told the world that they had found the secret of life. The secret is the structure of DNA, the material that makes genes, the things we get from our parents that control how we grow. Their discovery meant that we now know much, much more about the human body, and with that knowledge, there have been enormous improvements in medicine and medical research, as well as in historical research and solving crimes. 5. Jane Goodall, Britain, born 1934. Jane Goodall is a scientist who has studied primates, especially chimpanzees, her whole life. She has studied their family groups, their use of tools, and their emotions. Her work has made it clear that chimpanzees and other primates, gorillas for example, are not as different from people as we used to think. Goodall has shown the world that we need to treat the animals around us with respect and protect them.
Okay, over here we have another vocabulary, primates. Primates, for example, gorillas, monkeys, chimpanzees. Okay, there is a group of family primates. Okay, now over here we have stories about the scientifics. We have to identify with the pictures, okay, the name of the scientific. Okay, in the picture number 1, over here we have a man. Okay, Miss Camposano, what do you think is the man in the first picture? Is Galileo, Louis Pasteur, Karl Landsteiner, Francis Crick, and James Watson, or Jane Goodall? Okay. What are you doing?
I don't know who is, but I think Galileo is the second picture.
Okay, yes, okay. Okay, very good. But the first picture, I say the first picture, not but okay, very good. Now, Louis Pasteur, okay, who is Louis Pasteur, Miss Pinargote, okay? Remember, Louis Pasteur is a microbiologist, okay, and chemist. In these pictures, where is a man who is practicing the chemist or biologist look like a chemist? Number 1, 3, 4, or 5? Sorry? Miss, I can hear you. Guys, scream! I can hear you very well. Miss, I can hear you. Please write the answer in the chat. Write the answer in the chat, please. I can hear you. I don't know if my computer or... Okay, 4. Is it number 4? Okay, you say is it number 4. Now over here we have the name of the scientific Carl Landsteiner, okay? Mr. Castillo. Who is Carl Landsteiner? The number 1, 3, or 5?
Victor, number 3. No, number 5.
5, but there are 2 men, okay? Okay. Francis Crick and James Watson, Mr. Estrella.
Picture number 5.
Sorry?
The picture number 5.
Yes, it's the picture number 5. Okay. So Carl Landstein is not this one. Okay. And Jane Goodall, Miss Mendes, the number 5.
One moment. Es the number. Es que. ¿Dónde está? Number 3.
Very good. It's the number 3. Jane Goodall was a primatologist. Okay. Primate. Okay. Carl Landsteiner is the number D. Okay. No, it's the number 3. And Louis Pasteur is number 1. Oh man. Okay, that is the correct order. Okay. Now let's take the answers. Very good. Okay. That is the correct order. Galileo is number 2. Galileo said a theory about the Earth run around the sun. No, the sun run around the Earth. Louis Pasteur was a famous chemist and microbiologist. Okay. Carl Landsteiner was a biologist, and Francis Crick and James Watson discovered the. Yes, they discovered the DNA. Okay. And Jane Goodall is a primatologist. Okay, who saved the primate. Now over here we finish this part about the culture. Let me see if there are other questions. No. Okay, let me see where's the next page. Okay, no. Let me see. Okay, I forgot. I wish. Okay, this topic, I wish we saw this grammar part on Thursday. Okay, I wish. But to make a little introduce, I wish. We use I wish to, for example, I wish to get some money. Okay. I wish to get some money. Wish, want. Okay, want something, okay, that you want for all the time. For example, I wish to get some money because I'm so poor, okay, I don't have money. Okay, I wish to get some money, or I wish to win the lottery, okay? But this is about on Thursday, okay? We saw this topic on Thursday. How do we use wish and when do we use wish? Okay, because this is about to the second conditional, okay? This topic is referring about the second conditional. Okay, now we have 4 minutes. Okay, let me finish this hour.